It's quite the find. Hello friends, and welcome back to Crow's Thrifty Finds. My name is Melanie. So for this week's video, I am going to discuss my recent sales. But before I do that, because I know some folks were kind of curious, just wanted to give a little update on my job situation. So I still do not have a definite next job option. I did do an interview with a different department with where I currently work. Not sure exactly how that's going to go just yet, but hopefully I'll have the answer for that soon. And if for some reason that job doesn't work out, I'll just be reselling full-time until I find something else. But I don't know, I kind of feel that even though I could handle reselling full-time, maybe, you know, it might be best interest for my family to try to have that guaranteed salary and still keep reselling on top of it. But we'll see. There's just no final decision yet. But I wanted to throw that in there. But, you know, something wonderful has happened in the meantime. Even though I am losing my job, my eBay sales have been stellar. And I do know that, you know, a few of you, at least that mentioned it to me, purchased some things from my store as a way to help me out. And I really, really appreciate your support. So thank you so much for that. That was not needed, but very much appreciated. So thank you for that. But yeah, I've had some really great sales lately. So it's kind of one of those things where life gives you lemon, but eBay gave me lemonade. So let's talk about those sales. First off, we have a cookie jar that I sold, and I have bought some cookie jars because I had heard that that was a good thing to do. And this is actually the first one that sold. So they kind of sat for me for a while. So I'm not sure if I'm fully endorsing cookie jars yet at this point or not, but I only paid $5 for this. It sold for $60, which is great. This is old. It's from the 40s, I believe. So that was a $55 profit that I am happy about. So, you know, you can make money selling cookie jars, but it's not necessarily going to be a quick sale, is what I've learned thus far. Next, we have this Wildlife Treasury card set. I've mentioned these before. These are bolos, and this set was packed with cards, more than I had the last time even, and I sold it for $90, paid $5, great $85 profit. And again, this is before eBay fees, folks, so there are going to be fees taken out of that profit. So I'm letting you all know that that's not truly my profit, but it's the profit before eBay fees. Next, we have a Fisher Price Dollhouse. It sold for, as you can see, $120. I paid $50 for it at Goodwill, and I was able to make a $70 profit. So that was an excellent buy. It did take a little bit of time, and it was a little bit of a pain to ship, but it all worked out. Next, these sold very quickly. I bought these not long ago at all at a garage sale. These Ertl Diecast Play Sets, if you will. Yeah, they were $5 each at a garage sale, and I managed to sell them for $49. So that is a $39 profit. Not too shabby. Next, we have these Harley Davidson kitchen jars, I guess you could call them. I cannot believe I only paid $4 for these because they were just, it was the last day of the sale. They had done it multiple weekends. They just wanted to get rid of them. Sold those for $50 and made a nice $46 profit before eBay fees. Next, first umbrella I have ever sold on eBay, but I was at Goodwill not very long ago, and I saw this umbrella, and Goodwill wanted $15 for it, and I saw that it was Burberry, so I was like, well, people will want that. It had this very nice timeless look. I almost kind of wanted to keep it for myself, but it was new and I knew the profits I could get. Now it was from the perfume, so it's, you know, there's a little bit of a decrease in value because it's not just a straight up Burberry umbrella, but it did sell for $58, $43 profit, not too shabby. Next, I was so excited to pick this up, this vintage Nike tracksuit. It's so cool. I think I priced it a little over enthusiastically. I think I had it 130 or 50 or something at first. So I had to lower the price for people to buy it, but it did sell for $105. I paid $5, so it is a $100 profit. It was very cool. I'm happy to see it find a home. Next, this Build-A-Bear wardrobe. I sold it for $65. I paid $4 for this at a garage sale, made a $61 profit. Now, Build-A-Bear does sell these wardrobes currently on their website, but this one is an older version, and sometimes people like the coloring of this better. I had somebody email me and let me know what they're selling for online. Well, yeah, that's because it's a different. It's close to the same, but it's not. It's actually different colors. And, you know, if people want this color combination, they have to buy the more vintage one. But they do sell. So if you happen to see one just like this with this color scheme, you can get some good money for it. Next, we have a John Deere die-cast combine. It was still in its original box. It was used, but, you know, box does tend to carry value even if the item is used. Goodwill wanted 15, so that's what I paid, and I sold it for 65, so it's a nice $50 profit on that. Those die-cast John Deere tractors and farm equipment, they are good sellers. It did not take long to sell this at all. Next, an item I'm sure many resellers know to pick up, but maybe you don't know, so now is the time to know, because these are great sellers, and I'll tell you why. So TI-84 Plus. It has to be this model. Coloring doesn't matter. Any color variation is fine. I don't really know that the silver edition matters or doesn't matter, but it needs to be TI-84 Pluses. These are the creme de la creme of scientific calculators. Goodwill's starting to catch on to this. They charge me $20 for it. I've paid $5 for those at Goodwill. So it just kind of depends on who's pricing, I guess. But it sold for $55, and there's a company that buys these, and they buy them every single time, and it's just a matter of having the sweet spot of the price. If you price it at $55, it'll sell in like an hour or so. They must have a bot or something that purchases these calculators in bulk. I have no idea, but they sell like lightning, and they always go to the same people. So yeah, if you find these, know that this is a quick sell. You need money quick, list your TI-84 Pluses. $35 profit for me. When you pay 20, you sell for 55, that's what you're getting. Next, this is a Brier horse. I love buying Brier horses, but it is important that you check to make sure that they are valuable Brier horses. It's kind of hard to talk today, apparently. But I paid $7 for this one, and this was a rare, valuable one. This was a winter chicken dinner Brier horse. Some of them, you know, only resell for $10. I tend to like to buy the largest size of Brier horse because they do make them in different sizes. But the biggest ones obviously sell for better because of their size. But yeah, this one sold for $80, and I made a $73 profit. Next, a viewer purchased this shirt, so thank you, viewer. It was a shirt from Coachella. It was an older volunteer shirt. It was kind of unique. There were no comps for it when I bought this shirt, but I know people like Coachella, and you know, you might want to buy it to sort of remember the show, or maybe somebody was a volunteer and didn't keep their shirt or something, who knows. But I paid $5 for it. It sold for $16. It's a nice $11 profit. Nice little bread and butter item. Next, we have a vintage Sesame Street booster seat. You all may remember I didn't purchase it. I got it off the curb in a video. It was during our big trash pickup in town. So this booster seat didn't cost me anything. And it sold for $23.99. I priced that kind of competitively because I got it for free. So $24 in my pocket before eBay fees. Next, this is a DreamWorks Turbo snail plush from the movie Turbo. And I haven't actually seen this movie, but I saw this guy randomly in Goodwill for $4. And I looked him up because I saw that he was new with tag. And I saw that they were selling the 20s, so I figured, hey, why not? And it sold for $22.50, so that's a nice $18 profit. Another nice little bread and butter item. Next, we have a Patagonia men's better sweater, zip down. I paid $20 for this, which is actually a really good deal for these zip down ones. If they're the pullovers, I probably wouldn't have picked it up for that price, but these ones, they sell for pretty good money. It was kind of a weird, unique color, but it took a little bit to sell, but it sold for $60, $40 profit. Happy to see it go. Next, I have a Department 56 Christmas Village house. I pick these up all the time at garage sales over the summer. A lot of the time people are offloading their holiday stuff. They don't want as much anymore. They're downsizing. And a lot of the times you can get these for cheap. This one was $5. I sold it for $40. Good $35 profit. Next, we have a lot of vintage Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I honestly do not know how much money I have into this because this lot has I've been kind of building it over time. So I don't really know what I spent on it, honestly. And I try not to do that, but you know, sometimes it happens. But they sold for $57. I tried to auction them and nobody bid. And then I listed it again for the starting price, or maybe $1 less, and then they sold. But I don't know about vintage Ninja Turtles anymore. I think it's really important to have the accessories to really get your most money for these things. So yeah, I don't know. Unless they're super cheap, I probably won't buy a lot of these anymore, unless they're rare figures, which I've definitely made money off of in the past, but these ones were not super rare, so might avoid that in the future. Next, I bet you all might be able to guess why this sweatshirt sold. This is a vintage Kansas City Chiefs sweatshirt, and a certain celebrity wore not this exact sweatshirt, but a vintage Kansas City Chiefs sweatshirt not too long ago. And whenever that happens, if you're an eBay seller, you're a little excited because, you know, if you're selling something like it, or if you're really lucky, the exact model, that thing's going to fly off your shelf and you better up the price really quick before, before someone gets a good deal on it. But this sweatshirt I had listed for a while. I sold it for $24.50. I had paid $5 for it a while back, so it wasn't a huge profit, you know, $19.50, but it definitely was good to see it go, and good that that happened because it had been sitting for a while before that. Next, another Department 56 Christmas Village house. This is the Fizzy Factory. I paid $10 for this. I've mentioned it before in videos, but I'll mention it again. The newer Department 56 is actually more desirable than the older Department 56. So when you start to see the Department 56 with these more green labels on the boxes, these are the newer ones and the ones that you can get more money for. And a lot of them are themed, you know, collaborations with others. So I knew when I saw this, it was going to sell, and it did. So I paid $10 for it. I sold it for $52. You've got a $42 profit. Love Department 56. Next, another thing that sold, maybe for good reason, this Texas Rangers jacket. It had been sitting for a while, but guess who won the World Series? So again, I got lucky. I paid $5 for the jacket. It sold for $27, so that is a profit of $22. Next, we have Fisher-Price, these Knights. This is a play set. Now, there's a bigger version of this that's a great pickup as well, but this is the more portable version and may not be as common, more rare. I paid $10 for this. I got it at Once Upon a Child, and I think they kind of knew what it was also. They're getting savvy over there too. So yeah, paid $10 for the set, sold it for $30. $20 profit. I knew that would be about what I got for it, so it worked out and it sold very fast. Next, my favorite tales from the bins, if you could call them that. So yet again, it happened. I picked up a pair of Doc Marten boots that were not in the greatest of shape, and I could tell somebody else had already grabbed them before me and passed on them because of condition, but the bins charges $2 for shoes. So I paid $2 for these Doc Martens. I knew I would make something, and these were vintage, made in England Doc Martens. I knew these were going to sell and I was going to make money. And sure enough, I sold them for $40, $38 profit. And I don't know what reseller would turn down something that had a $38 profit, but I'm happy they did. So yay for that. Next, I want to introduce you all to this statue. I have sold this statue now numerous times and people want it. And it's just kind of this weird random bolo, but people like this quiet moment Tim Small statue. I've had it in different colors and sizes and I've never had a hard time selling it. I've always made big money. It seems like people are getting rid of them for basically nothing. I don't know what they're paying for these when they're new, but I paid $1 for this one, which was even cheaper than the last one. And it sold for $37. That's a $36 profit. And I priced that kind of competitively. So, you know, I could have even gotten a few more dollars. So yeah, if you ever see this statue, for sure, pick it up. Next, this is a nostalgic kind of item. This is a little canister of Wet n Wild lip gloss. This is French vanilla. I don't know if you all remember this. I know I remember buying this from CVS back in the day when I was young. So it definitely brings back feelings of nostalgia for people. I had this priced up way high because I feel like this is kind of a rare item, but then it sat and it sat and it sat and I got impatient and I lowered it to $25. I only paid $1 for it at Goodwill. So it is a $23.99, $24 profit. I am more than happy to make that on this little canister of lip gloss and somebody's going to be very nostalgic and happy to get that. And last, but not least, Lilo and Stitch plush. I paid $8 for this. It's kind of rare, and it sold for $42. So that was a $34 profit. And that's going to wrap it up for this week. As you can see, tons of sales. I've been making far more money than I normally do. So when your job situation is uncertain, at least that's going right. Absolutely a good thing. So for now, this is Melanie with Crow's Thrifty, blah, blah, blah. This is Melanie with Crow's Thrifty Finds. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I don't like to do outtakes, so I'm just going to leave this in there. But yeah, I'll see you all next week.